Hey guys, this is Annette. I'm doing something special today. I've been getting a lot of requests about how to do your own nails during the quarantine. So I have a few friends that get their nails done professionally, and I thought it would be a great idea to just show them how you can do your own nail powder dip at home. And it's super easy, it's super quick, it's super simple, and actually it's a lot of fun. Once you start doing this, you're gonna realize you're gonna save so much more money, and you're just gonna want to do your own nails yourself. It's that simple. So let's get started. So these were my nails before. This is the color I had. It's actually a cool color. It's by Sparkle & Co. It's color changing with the temperature. I'm going to remove these, and I'm going to show you how to remove them in a minute, but I wanted to show you something really cool about this nail dip powder. So I'm just setting up right now. I have my cotton swabs there that I need, but I want to show you something with this ice cube, how it actually changes color depending on how cold or how hot it is. This is one of my favorite colors. It's called Pink Blue, which is kind of cool. So like when it's really warm out, it's pink. Right now it looks kind of purple, but it actually turns dark blue depending on how cold something is. So right now I'm just going to get my cotton ready, or I guess my wipes, my makeup removers, and I'm just cutting them up to the size of my fingernails because I am going to wet those with acetone. And then you see those little purple clips that are there? I'm just gonna use those to hold them in place. Those are really cheap, guys. You can get them in Amazon. I'm gonna post the link so that if you want to order them, you can. But before I do the acetone, I'm actually filing down all the shine on my nails. That's gonna help remove the dip powder a lot quicker. So I'm gonna remove that, but I'm also keeping in mind that I am also trying to file down the close to the cuticle bed where the new growth is. I'm not gonna file them too much because I don't want to damage the nail. So I'm just filing them enough to get the shine out and to get the oils out. This is definitely gonna help in the removal process. Makes things so much more quicker. I'm also going to cut my nails because, guys, I'm a school teacher and I have been on the computer, and this makes it really hard to type, so I need to cut these guys down. I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm just like, I feel like these days I'm getting a little cross-eyed from being in the screen, from doing all this distance learning and online teaching. But I definitely need to cut these nails because I'm typing all the time. So I'm cutting them short, as you see right there. I mean, you could do the same thing too. They weren't too long, but they were definitely getting in the way. My thumb right there, if you see, actually this dip powder actually lasted for a good 17-18 days, and like I was doing so much cleaning over the weekend, Mother's Day weekend, and moving things around, and I actually, something fell on my thumb, so that part came undone. So as you see in the video now, I'm actually wetting the cotton swabs with acetone. It's best, it is recommended that you use 100% pure acetone because that's what they use to remove like the artificial nails or the nail dip powder, or even the gels. If you get the gels done, that's the strength that you need in order to get it removed. It's fairly easy. That little container, I believe I got that from the Dollar Tree. It is so cool. It makes it so much easier to just get the acetone. You just push it down and then it comes up, and clipping it on is easy as well. Like I said, I'm going to post a link on where you can get those clips for your fingernails. It is pretty cool. So I'm just speeding up the process there, but you could actually see it takes 20 to 25 minutes to actually remove the dip powder. It comes off clean, nice and clean. And if it doesn't come off completely, all you have to do is re-wet it and let it sit for a few more minutes. But usually 20 to 25 minutes is good for me, especially if you're filing it down some to get some of that shine out, because you want to get that glue that you use on top off before you remove them, because if not, it takes longer. So now I am just getting ready to buff. This is what you would typically do if you're starting for the first time. You need a buffer. You also need a brush. You can use like an old kabuki brush or a makeup brush if you'd like. This is going to help dust off your nails, especially when you're dipping them. And the system that I'm using is the Nugenesis. You guys can't see that very well, but I'm going to link it below. I actually got this from Amazon. This is the second system that I have. I have another system. I forgot the name of the other system. I wasn't too fond of it. But if you would like for me to try on another one, like Revel or some other company, I am willing to try it just to see how it works. I love this system. It is so easy. It comes in 4 easy steps I just showed you, and it's color coded. This is why I love it. Each cap is different. The steps are labeled so you know what to start with first. And this is the color that I had before, and I showed it backwards, so you can't see it really well because I completely forgot to turn it over so that you could see it. I turned it so that I could see it, which is ridiculous, but I'll post that in the link too. That's Pinkablu. And then I'm using another color from Sparkle & Co. I believe it's Land and Sea, which is awesome. It's another color changing dip powder system. It's pretty cool. So right now I am just buffing, showing you what to do, because I really don't need to buff. My nails are pretty dry as it is. You basically just want to make sure you have no oils, but the acetone pretty much took out all the oils, but you would buff it lightly and gently. You don't want to ruin your nails. You just want to take the oils and the shine out. So as you see me there, I'm preparing. I like to use foil only, and a towel underneath the foil, only because I like to protect the surfaces of my table. You know, especially if you're using acetone, those kinds of things, you know, you want to protect your surfaces. So I just grab some foil and then I work on top of the foil. Plus, if some of the dip powder falls off, I can actually put it back in the container. So this is the color that I'm using, and it's actually pretty cool. So like I said, I'm using the Nugenesis dip powder system. And that bottle with the yellow cap right there, that is what I'm using to prepare the nail. It's prep liquid. Basically, you put that on the entire surface of your nail and you let it air dry. And what it does is it helps to remove the excess oil, and it helps prepare the nails so that the powder, so that, you know, the adhesive works a little bit better. I like using nail dip powder better than gel because I don't like putting my hands under the UV light. I figure, you know, it's a safer alternative, not a completely safe alternative, because anything you put on your nail can pretty much damage your nail, but I try as much as possible not to file it too far down. But this is the only reason why I prefer the powder over the gel. I just don't like using the UV light. But if you could see right there, I just put it on all 10 nails. It dries very quickly. And now I am going to use that bottle with the pink cap. And that is actually the base gel. Okay, that's like the glue that'll help the powder stick to your nails. But before I do that, I'm just kind of filing the nails, because earlier you saw me cut the nails. I'm just kind of shaping them a little bit, and I'll shape them more after I'll add the powder, but I'm just trying to get those sharp edges off, just trying to give it a nice decent shape. I like mine squared. You could do yours any which way you want. But basically, I'm just kind of like shaping them up a little bit. So now we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes on how to get your nails done. So you see that bottle with the blue cap, that's step number 2. And like I said before, that's the base gel. So basically, I am going to do just like you would with regular nail polish when you're getting your nails done. That's how easy it is. So basically, you're just gonna apply a thin coat over your nail. And then after you apply that thin coat, you're literally going to dip your nail into the color of your choice. Remember, you can use any powder you like from any company. The only thing you cannot mix up are your gels. So as you see there, I'm dipping my nail in, and I have a little tool to help me, because depending on how big your bottle is, you could dip your whole nail, you know. So I'm just kind of slightly gently pushing the powder, and then I tap off the excess. It's that simple, guys. And then I move on to the next nail. Again, I take the base and I apply it like I would regular nail polish. And I don't go too close to the cuticle because I don't want to get glue on the cuticle. Slightly above, making sure that I cover the entire surface of the nail. And then again, I dip my finger in. And I put the powder. For some reason, whenever I'm doing my left hand, I have to use a tool, but when I do my right hand, I kind of angle the container and I'm able to dip it without it. So clearly I just struggle with that hand, which I think most people do when it comes to, if you're a righty, I guess. So I'm going to continue with that on every single nail. Again, apply the Pro Base, which is like the glue, and I dip. So I'm just going to speed the process up so that you can see it getting done on all the nails.
It doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself. You do the same and we'll be alright. 'Cause this pressure's really bringing me down. Pressure's really bringing me down. I wish I was above the center of attention.
So after dipping all 10 nails, you use a kabuki brush or your makeup brush, and you just start dusting them off, and you start all over again. So basically, you're gonna go to that bottle again with the pink cap, and you're gonna go for a second round.
Doesn't have to be so special. I try to be myself. You do the same and we'll be alright. 'Cause this pressure's really bringing me down.
So now that you're finished putting on the second coat of the powder, you dust it off like you did the first time again. And then you get ready for step number 3. So step number 3 is when you actually add the activator liquid to your 10 nails. This is what's going to keep the glue, and it's going to keep the powder on your nails. You don't have to worry about this. It's not like the gel. You can kind of just wet it and coat it. And you can already see the color changing on contact just by applying the cold liquid. You can see how the nail color is changing. It goes from like a teal to a dark blue.
I know that I said I have never been wrong, but we stopped talking long ago. I know that I lost, but I'm not moving on. Something between us still feels strong. I want you to know that with you I feel whole. And if
So now that you finished applying the activator, you're going to buff the nails, and basically what you're doing is you're just making it smooth. You're not filing it too much because you don't want to take all the dip powder off. You're just making it smooth, making sure you have a nice smooth surface before you make your nails look pretty. And you're going to do that to all 10 nails. This is the perfect time to shape it. Right now I'm using the nail file. I'm just shaping the sides, taking out any rough edges, taking out any bumps. This is when you get to shape it a little bit more. By the way, the buffer is not a super coarse buffer. I'm going to link down below where I got it. It was very cheap. It was very affordable. Again, this is one of those things I got from Amazon, and it came with like 5 or 6 buffers in a pack, and it also came with the nail files too, but I'll link it below. So basically this is an additional step that no one needs to use. I just kind of like it. I don't know if you're familiar with those 3 steps or 3-sided buffers that has the gray and then the white and then like the leathery material on the other side. Basically I do the same thing. I just buff it to smooth, just to make the surface shiny. You do not have to add this step at all. You don't need this at all. I just kind of like to do it because I like it to be extra smooth and shiny. And now I'm going to wash my hands with just water, no soap. So basically after washing your hands or just rinsing your hands with water, you're going to dry it with a paper towel. Don't use a regular towel. Use a paper product so that way you don't get any lint during this process, because if you get any lint then you're going to see it when you do this process. So again, that same activator you used before you started buffing, you're going to apply it again. Once again, this is going to make sure, this is to assure that the powder sticks and the acrylic sticks. So basically you're putting it on. I put it on the edges too to make sure every surface is covered on the nail. It's a liquid, you don't have to be careful with it. It dries very quickly.
I don't care as long as you're there.
So there they go. Now this is the final step. This is when I actually add the finish gel. This is what gives it that shine and that durability. So with this, you're gonna have to be very careful. You'll notice that I wipe the brush several times before I apply it, because if you apply it too thick, what ends up happening is you get these weird little impressions on the nails. You want it to be shiny. So basically you're trying as best as possible to just pass it one time, about 3 to 4 strokes per nail, thin coats, so that way it stays nice and shiny. And you're going to do that on all nails.
Now everything can go to pieces. I don't care.
So now that you finished putting on the first coat, you wait about 2 minutes and let them air dry, and then you get ready for the second coat. Again, for this coat, it's very important that you do a very thin, light coat. I take as much of that gel or that glue off of the brush as possible, and I only use 3 strokes. I go from the middle, side, side, middle, side, side on every nail, just to make sure that I'm not putting too much, because then if you put too much, when it dries, it looks kind of smudged, doesn't look as shiny. So again, thin coats.
Tell me that you're ready. Tell me that you're ready.
And there you have it. Really nice, shiny nails. Believe it or not, guys, this was a very quick process. If this is the first time that you're doing it, you don't have to worry about the soaking off of the other nails. So it's so quick, you'll be so happy. So I just wanted to demonstrate what hot water and cold water does to this color. It is so cool. I love this so much, especially now as the weather's getting warmer. So I just dipped it in really warm water, and you see it turns into like a light teal color. And then now I'm putting it in cold water, and it turns into a dark blue again. It is so awesome. Perfect for the summer. It's funny to see when you're in air conditioning how it turns dark, and then how you go out in the sun and it changes. sometimes you get this pretty little ombre effect going when you go outside. I love Sparkle & Co. Again, I got these dip colors. You can go to their company website. I got these through Amazon, and they come in the cutest little packaging. Adorable. Now, I also had a friend who wanted to know how to care for her nails in general, not necessarily with dips or with polish. The key is to use oil. If you don't have oil for your nails, like I'm using a facial oil, guys, right here. You want to put oil on your cuticles and on your fingernails every day, after showers, before bedtime. That's going to make your cuticle look amazing, especially if you put it before a lotion. You can use olive oil. Take a little bit of olive oil, put it on your nail bed and on the cuticle, and then just apply lotion. That's how you care for your nails, to get them from looking brittle and dry and just making them look amazing. Especially when you get these things done, you do want to take care of your nail bed, because you are adding chemicals to it. This is a great way to take care of it. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to keep it on the simple side.